The Federal Land of Public Management Act charges the Bureau of Land Management with the responsibility for managing public lands and balancing a variety of uses. This includes recreation, natural resource development, grazing, and wildlife prevention. How does the BLM manage it based upon the small business practices, guiding tours, hunting trips, and guides? How do they manage that particular based upon the variety of they're charged to do?
Congressman, our activities as we manage these lands are done under FLPMA with pursuant to a resource plan. Those resource plans are developed over fairly extended periods of time. In fact, some of them now have taken 7 years that we're just finishing up. Those resource plans involve a tremendous amount of public input and are usually controversial because you are talking about conflicting uses. But our goal is to represent as many of those uses and make the smartest decisions we can with regard to that plan. Once the plan is then adopted, and that's a public process with numerous public opportunities for input and review, then we are required to administer those particular lands with regard to that plan. Even then, there are lots of disputes and lots of conflicts that our managers have to make smart decisions about. But our goal is to make sure that, first of all, there's a lot of opportunity so we can balance those needs. And in those cases where there are activities that disturb another activity, we can mitigate to the extent that we can for those. And then secondly, to make sure that what we do in an open and transparent manner so people can understand why we're doing what we're doing. Even then, we get tremendous number of lawsuits from one issue or another. I might say that one of the biggest impacts we're having now on western lands, and this is not only west, it's elsewhere as well, is invasive species and fire. That perhaps is doing more damage to more uses and impacting, I think, small businesses as much as anything we do on federal lands.
As an avid outdoorsman, there's nothing I enjoy better than wing shooting, grouse, quail. I certainly enjoy that. And in your testimony, you made reference to that most of the gas and oil drilling is being done in the private lands and state lands. I think that's all the more reason why on our federal lands that what we have to do is to be able to protect, to be able to have those the conservations and be able to protect the grouse and the quail and the other species. The small businesses and the ranchers can be able to use these lands for economic development in their communities. So that's not really a question, just really a comment that the more that we can provide for these the ranchers and the guides, fishing guides, and the outdoorsmen, I think it impacts a community in a very positive way, and because they can't go on these public land or some of the other state lands, or certainly on the private lands. So, Madam Chair, I yield back.